The Shrimad Bhagavad Gita is the supreme scripture of knowledge, which has many commentaries and has also been translated to many languages. The Gita is gaining popularity among scientists, astronauts as well as foreign schools and universities. This knowledge, which has originated from Bharat, has gained popularity in the entire world, but this knowledge is given less importance in Bharat itself. Despite being the religious scripture of the ancient religion, the very followers of this religion are away from this knowledge. The Gita is just wrapped in a cloth and worshipped. The knowledge that is bound benefits no one. Just like a flowing river is beneficial as compared to stagnant water, in the same way, studying the knowledge of the Gita is very important for every individual. Just the body can be cleansed with the water of the Ganges, but even the dirty mind is cleansed with the knowledge of the Gita. However, over a period of, for example, Madhvacharya's Gita says, the human souls are separate and God is separate. Shankaracharya's Gita says, Sarvam Khalu Idam Braham, in the scripture Mahabharata, which increased later on and are more than 1 lakh at present. It has become the longest scripture in the world today. The Gita is said to be a part of this scripture. People say Sri Krishna stopped the course of time when he gave the knowledge. The cycle of time is such a thing that can't be stopped. Just like it is impossible to stop the revolving earth, in the same way, time can't be stopped either. But it is said, the knowledge of the Gita was given on the battlefield of the Mahabharata 5,000 years ago at the end of the Copper Age. It isn't possible for someone to give the knowledge of the Gita in a scenario where 2 armies are ready for battle, rather it is impossible. Its example can be seen even today. No knowledge in the whole world has yet been able to stop the war between 2 countries. It is a mythological book. Mythological stories are those imaginations of poets whose meaning ordinary human beings can't understand. When the battlefield of the Mahabharata never existed, how can knowledge be given in it? Moreover, the one who assimilates the knowledge of the Gita can never resort to violence. The knowledge of the Gita doesn't give rise to any violent battle. Rather, it is the knowledge of becoming victorious in the battlefield of life. Some historians have done researches on the Gita and have even attempted to reveal its truth. Hopkins believes that the Krishna-dominant version of the Gita which is found now was earlier a Vishnu-dominant poem, and even before this, it was a non-sectarian composition. Farquhar has written in the religious literature of India that this Gita is an old poetic Upanishad, which was probably written after Shvetashvatra Upanishad, and which has been molded in the present form by a poet to support Krishnaism after the Christian era began. According to Garbe, the Bhagavad Gita was earlier a scripture related to Sankhya Yoga, in which the procedure of the worship of Krishna Vasudeva was added later on, and in the 3rd century BC it was mixed with the Vedic tradition by considering Krishna to be a form of Vishnu. The original composition was written in 200 BC and its modern form was prepared by a follower of Vedanta in 2nd century AD. Holtzman considers Gita to be a latter Vishnu-dominant form of a pantheist poem. Keith also believes that originally the Gita was a Shvetashvatar kind of Upanishad. But later it was molded in accordance with the worship of Krishna. The facts mentioned by these wise men are logical, because the knowledge of the Gita has always been called knowledge of Brahm, God's song or moral speech. It has never been called Shri Krishna's knowledge. It is because there is no mention of knowledge being given by Krishna in any shlok of the Gita. Bhagavad Gita itself means the song of God, which has been spoken by God directly. This is why the word Bhagavanuvach, words of God, is present only in the Gita. Krishnavach, words of Krishna, hasn't been mentioned anywhere. Even if the word Krishna has been mentioned anywhere in the Gita, it isn't for the deity Sri Krishna, rather it addresses God. Just like God has been referred to as Madhusudan, slayer of the demon Madhu, Rishikesh, lord of the Indriya, etc. In the same way, he has also been called Krishna. It is because the word Krishna means to attract, but not through the form and appearance of the body. The one who attracts those who stay in the soul conscious stage is Mahadev. God is no ordinary position or name. The word Bhagwan is translated as the Supreme Personality, who is the Supreme Lord. There is nobody above him. It has been said in the 7th shlok of the 7th chapter of the Gita, Matta Partaram na anyat kinchit asti dhananjay, meaning, O Arjun, the one who acquires the wealth of knowledge. There is nothing superior to me in all the 3 worlds, including this world. Sri Krishna is always shown worshipping Mahadev. The one who is worshipped is superior to the one who worships. Therefore, these great sentences can't be those of Sri Krishna. This is why the deity Sri Krishna can't be considered as the form of God. Mahadev alone is supreme among all the deities. That Shiv Shankar Bholenath is never shown worshipping anyone, neither in pictures, idols nor in stories. It is because nobody is superior to him at all. It is also said in the Upanishads, your devas aren't shown. In fact, the entire world considers and worships him in the form of Ardhanarishwar, that is mother and father. Yo vai Rudra sa Bhagwan, yah cha teza tasmai vai namo nama. Meaning he, who is Rudra, is God. He is the supreme light, and we bow before him again and again. It is said in the Yajur Ved, Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya, which means salutations to Rudra, who is God, the supreme personality of Ishwar. The word Bhagwan hasn't been used for any other deity except for Shiv Shankar Mahadev in the Veds and Upanishads. As the human beings started giving clarifications of scriptures, people started using the word Bhagwan for many deities, and now they designate even human beings as Bhagwan. The one who gives the knowledge is higher than the knowledge itself. It is said, Swadeshe pujyate Raja, Vidwan Sarvatra pujyate. Meaning a king is just worshipped in his country, but a scholar is worshipped in the entire world. Then, why didn't the people belonging to all the religions accept Sri Krishna? In fact, the knowledge of the Gita has been considered the best by all. Why don't Sri Krishna's idols, temples and glory exist in every religion or the world? On the contrary, if we see, Shivalaya are found everywhere in the country as well as abroad. Shivling or the naked idols of Shiv alone are found in every ancient excavation. Not just Bharat, be it the Muslim or Christian religious lands, Shivling have been found everywhere. It is said, Krishna fought the righteous battle in order to gain victory over irreligiousness. Vishnu incarnated many times to destroy the irreligious ones. but continuously fighting the foreign irreligious invaders for 2500 years, those belonging to the ancient religion, be it the Marathas or Rajputs or ordinary Bharatvasis, all of them have raised slogans of Har Har Mahadev or Eklingji, that is Shiv Shankar Bholenath alone. The Bharatvasis always remember Mahadev to gain victory over any kind of unrighteousness. Nobody ever worshipped Krishna or Vishnu or raised slogans of their names before battles. Then, how can Shri Krishna be given the credit of destroying unrighteousness? It is believed our words and our actions should be one, but both the words and actions of Shri Krishna seem conflicting. Krishna, who is born from a womb, calls himself unborn. The knowledge of becoming detached forever is given in the Bhagavad Gita, whereas the character of Krishna is always shown to be that of attachment. Lust has been called the greatest enemy in the Gita, not Duryodhan or Dushasan. One Mahadev alone is praised as the one who burnt lust into ashes. Kamdev isn't a human being, but it is about the desires of the mind. Only the one who can burn them can give the knowledge of destroying them. In the Gita, there is the knowledge of loving God alone and performing worldly actions while being detached, whereas the life story of Krishna gives birth to attachment and love in the world. Due to following this very character, the kings also started marrying many queens. Had they followed the character of Mahadev according to the knowledge of the Gita, there would be the joyful pure household path that follows the belief Ek Nari Sada Brahmachari like Shiv Parvati in the world today. Krishna, who suffered death by being shot on his soul by a hunter's arrow, calls himself immortal and eternally true. It has been said in the 17th shlok of the second chapter of the Gita, Avinashi tu tat vidhi yen sarvam idam tatam vinasham avyayasya asya na kaschit kartum arhati, meaning the man through whom this world has expanded, know him to be imperishable. Nobody is capable of destroying that eternal man. Then, how can deity Shri Krishna, who suffered death like an ordinary man, be imperishable? Shri Krishna's character isn't in accordance with the shlokas of the Gita. It is only Mahadev whose mention is found in the shlokas of the Gita. He is known as the unborn, eternally true, conqueror of death, ascetic, incorporeal, Omkara, etc. Not even a single temple of Shri Krishna is found as per the names of the forms of God mentioned in the Gita, but Mahadev's temples are certainly found. If Shri Krishna is the one who gives the knowledge of the Gita, how were such temples of Mahadev built? Just the worship of Krishna is being propagated by adding the name of Shri Krishna in the Gita. People are just engaged in songs and music chanting Hare Krishna, they aren't engaged in studying knowledge. People have forgotten the very theory of actions due to the one mistake in the Gita, which is why everyone's character is degrading. Parents orphan their children and children put their parents in old age homes. Brothers fight among themselves. Where big families flourished and generations prospered, not even 4 people are able to stay together there. Family system is perishing altogether. Nobody is able to stop the riots that take place in the name of religion. The authorities keep changing, but the world is just degrading. The condition of the world has deteriorated to such extent that no human being can uplift it now. Sorrow has continued to increase in the world and it will continue to increase even more. As long as we consider Krishna to be God of the Gita out of blind faith, the world can't be uplifted. It is because it has been said in the very Gita, Krishna Gati leads us to sorrow. The sun also moves towards the southern hemisphere during the Krishna Gati. This is why Krishna Paksh is never considered auspicious. Krishna Paksh is that pitch dark night which causes darkness in the world. In the same way, by adding Krishna's name in the Gita, the entire world is in the darkness of sorrow today due to not knowing the accurate form of God. This is why Arjun said to God, "There is nobody except you who can relieve me of my sorrow." This is why churning the knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita is essential. It is only then we will come to know who the actual giver of the knowledge of the Gita is, the one who is called Har Har Mahadev, the one who takes away the sorrow of the entire world. However, in reality, there is no such personality who stays in a graveyard having smeared ash on his body. The very yadgar of the extraordinary Purusharth made by the ordinary body in which God comes is shown in pictures and idols.
Shankar Sankat Har